A letter went out this week to members, church members, telling them that the church is going down the tubes. And what church is that got that letter? Well, I guess it could be any church, depending on how you define success. In this case, it's defined by falling attendance and lack of money. Given that church is about worshiping God and praising God and being a holy place, I guess that tells us all we need to know. It's the difference between saying one thing and doing something else. Welcome. Welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. At Sunday Coffee Hour, we talk about everything and nothing. This week, we talked about recording your own music at home, mounted police in our neighborhood, how Glade plugins are an abomination unto the Lord, and about taking a cab to Mount Prospect. It was a lovely day here in Chicago. I noticed the horseback mounted police in my neighborhood this weekend after a long absence. And just now I got a notice that the airspace over Lake Michigan has been closed for national defense. The readings this Sunday at Washington National Cathedral were from Deuteronomy. We have a choice: choose life and fulfillment or death and destruction. And from Corinthians, if you can't stand the heat, then get out of the kitchen. At Washington National Cathedral, the sermon was by Randy Hollerath. Randy reminded us that Ash Wednesday is just 10 days away. The sermon he gave was about the Sermon on the Mount and about what God values. It's a tough sell. Murder, stealing, adultery, even thinking about these things, it's all wrong. It's the difference between external wrongs versus internal wrongs. In internal wrongs, that's where the action is. Our action must align with our beliefs and values. It's a tall order. Randy said he's a Christian under construction. At St. James, the sermon was by Lisa Hackney James, and she talked about fencing us in. And she cited one of my favorite theological scholars, Amy Jill Levin. And it's Amy Jill Levin's concept, the idea of fencing us in. That's a rabbinic tradition of putting a fence around the Ten Commandments by making rules upon rules to keep us from breaking the rules. It's there to help us, but sometimes it becomes a stumbling block in itself. And Lisa talked about the concept of divorce, that for many of us, we've kind of assumed that divorce is one of the Ten Commandments, but it's really not. It's part of the fence. It's a rule on top of a rule that keeps us from breaking the rules. It's just not there. At both Washington National and at St. James, and in the readings today, I was reminded of the concept of, are we normalizing bad behavior, or are we exemplifying values and beliefs through our behavior? This week in Chicago, we had the mayoral debate held at the Union League Club in the 6th floor Lincoln dining room. Jamal Green, a youngster in the candidate lineup of candidates, pointed out that most of the people running for office are already in government. And most of the people in the middle seem to be just simply asking for more money. The people already in the government, that's their answer. It's just to ask for more money so they can do more supposed good. But Jamal and Dr. Wilson at the other end of the spectrum, both outsiders, pointed out again and again that these people are already on the job. They are in leadership. And if we have failed leadership, maybe we need to be looking at them. We could make the same observation for the leaders in the church. They're the ones that got us here. I think more times than not, the leaders tend to look at us, that somehow we're the problem. In government, we sometimes have the impression that that's how they see us. They see us all as potential domestic terrorists, even if that just means we happen to disagree. In the Stanley Kubrick film 2001: A Space Odyssey, Hal, the computer, he came to that conclusion. Hal determined that the best way to help mankind was to get rid of mankind. The conversation of and convention of curative and palliative care is one that sometimes fascinates me. The idea that many curative processes, they will cure you if they don't kill you first. Palliative care just is simply about making the patient comfortable. So I guess I need to ask, is church trying to cure us or make us more comfortable? The symbol of the church is a guy hanging on a cross. So I guess we know we're not going to get out of this life alive. So I guess I'll go for being comfortable. And isn't that what Christ did? He met people where they are. It's not a matter of choosing life or death. It's a matter of navigating this life with a little aplomb and style. And if you can't take the heat, then by all means, please get out of the kitchen. If you would like to join us at Sunday Coffee Hour is every Sunday at 12 noon Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.